Ahoy hoy, my name is Ramil Sanity and this is my review of Narcosis for the Xbox One. This review is in partnership with BigBossBattle.com, who've kindly given me the review code from developer Honor Code. My review is 100% my own opinion and I am not being paid for this. So, what is Narcosis? The best way to describe this game is it is a first-person horror title similar to those like Outlast and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. But, however, that is where the similarities end. This game is all based upon a diver, a deep-sea diver if I may, and he's in a deep-sea diver suit, or what the game calls a walking coffin. Now what basically happened is you're out exploring the deep ocean when all of a sudden a massive earthquake happens and leaves you trapped out in the middle of the sea. You have to basically find your way up to the surface, and this is how it plays out. And this leads me on to the gameplay. The developers here have done a fantastic job of feeling as if you're in a diving suit. This is unlike any other first-person horror survival game. You are in a very heavy suit, so there's no running, it is simply walking around, and because of this you actually do feel the weight of the suit on your shoulders. Now the controls of this are very simple. Your left stick moves the actual suit around, the right sticks move your head within the suit so you can look around and see what's going on. Now you have a HUD, and that's actually at the bottom around your chin, with your right side with a thrust. You can kind of like a little boost which can push you forward for a short period. It's like a jump boost. You can also fire flares on your right hand side, and on your left hand side is your oxygen meter. Now this is very particular because if you get scared your oxygen goes up and so you use more oxygen, so you have to be very careful of what you look at and balance it out carefully, because the actual oxygen itself is limited. Now throughout the levels you will fire and be able to retrieve O2 and replenish that, but you have to kind of be very careful with what you're doing. Now, not to say I never had too much issues, the game does have plenty of oxygen just lying around, the same with the flares, but it did feel perfect in terms of maneuverability. You actually felt the weight on your shoulders, and this is something that I think the developers have hit spot on with the game. Now Narcosis isn't just about you lumbering around in the heavy suit, listening to your own breath echoing off your inside of your helmet. Oh no, there is a very clever storytelling that pushes you throughout the whole game. There's a voiceover guy that chimes in and keeps the story moving as if it were, and is also a good reminder that you're actually headed in the right way in the labyrinth that is the underground ocean floor. Because you don't have an actual map, you can never really tell where you're going, so it's up for you to try and push forward and actually get to the other end. Now besides this, there is also a text-only personal dossier that is updated whenever you find a crew member. Now this crew member is normally found in quite a gruesome and deathly way, you know, in the throes of either being found drowned alive or eaten by certain actual wildlife, and you do feel sometimes that actually maybe if you explore a little bit more you'll find another crew member and how they died, and this helps to push you towards the bit more exploration in the game than you would normally do. The level design in Narcosis has been done superbly. Each level feels different from the previous one. Now there is 14 stages in total, and they vary from sea labs to underground water caves to the bottom of the ocean to areas of pure lava where you've got too far. They are perfect, and each one feels different, and each one provides its own unique challenges. Now, besides the actual levels, within these levels there are actual puzzles. That's right, you're not just walking along being scared up out of your wits, and these puzzles are actually quite good. They're not too hard, but it does give you a bit of brain ache if you haven't been paying attention. One I actually had a bit of trouble with was to restore power to a base by flipping switches on transformers. Now, I kept blowing the fuses, and I couldn't work out why, and then I actually just looked up and realised there was a sign telling me the actual voltage I had to achieve. It took me a good 20 minutes of this because I just wasn't carefully looking around the landscape. Another thing the developer has kindly thrown into the mix is hallucinations. That's right. Besides all this going on, at various points of the game, your character will start to hallucinate. Now, this is an actual side effect for deep sea diving. It's called hydrogen narcosis, and it's an effect of a state of stupor, unconsciousness, or arrested activity influenced by taking in too much hydrogen, and they have used this with great effect there. So 1 minute you're being scared out of your wits walking around the actual deep sea floor, and all of a sudden your brain will just start to react weirdly, and you'll start seeing flashes or unsettling images which will freak you out even more. And this is really well done with actually in the game. The game itself is roughly around 4 hours long, and possibly around 6 to 7 if you try and find all the collectibles. Now, this is not to say the game is easy. You will die numerous times by being attacked by enormous sea crabs or a fanged squid, or falling off the cliff face because you weren't using your flares in the right spot, and then absolutely falling down an absolute crevice and your visor shattering because you're being crushed to death. You really need to be careful with what you're doing here, because you're in this huge heavy suit. Your actual ability to defend yourself is actually a bit clumsy, and you have to get your timing right. Now, to defend yourself, you are given a basically diver's knife, but the trick is, because you're kind of slow and cumbersome, your reaction times are slow and cumbersome. So when a wildlife attacks you, you kind of have to gauge your attack carefully and watch carefully of when they're going to attack versus when you're going to strike. So what about the graphics? Well, the graphics of this game are beautiful. I can't confirm it. I think they run at 1080p on the Xbox One, but don't actually hold me to that. It could be 900, but generally the graphics here is perfect. The moody atmosphere, the dust, the darkness, the shot of the flare as you goes in that slightly brightens up a particular area before fading out to the distance is perfect. The lights are illuminating from the lamps around here, only illuminating a particular area. It's been done perfectly. The HUD is the brightest thing, so it actually gives you some sort of light, plus your own actual light coming off your suit is really well done. The animals, the actual dead bodies, the underwater feeling has been done crisply and perfectly. It is glorious and absolutely beautiful to look at. You will spend most of the time looking around more than anything else, and they know this, and so what they've done is they've crafted a game that looks beautiful for you to walk around. It's very much a visual piece as well as it is an entertaining game, and one that can see the developers have spent a fundamental amount of time trying to get right and perfected. And this leads me on to the sound of the game. Now, for me, this is probably the best bit about the entire game. The developer has hit a home run with the sound, or I should say lack of sound, within this game. There is a slight ambience in the background, like an underwater feeling, which is perfect, and a slight tone now and then that creeps in at certain points. It has been done perfectly, and it really does help you engage and feel unnerving throughout the whole game. Yes, the sound does ramp up at certain points to give you that holy shit factor, and but I can't describe this honestly. Listening through a headset on your TV, you will feel as if you are 10,000 leagues under the sea. It is perfect. The symphony of music here is brilliant, and when I say symphony, I mean such a light touch has been added that it is so unnerving. It really makes the game feel perfect. Without a doubt, if I could give it a fantastic score on this alone, I would. The music here is being done superbly. The sound bites have been done superbly. Hell, even the voice narrator's silky voice is a treat to listen to. And one good thing is, once you have completed the game, you can go back and listen to the story in a fully fleshed form, and that is a brilliant little thing to give to the players. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, rent, great purchase, or must own. My rating for this game, Narcosis for the Xbox One, is a great purchase, and this is for the following reasons. For me, Narcosis is absolutely superb. The gameplay, the feel, the mood, the sound was absolutely perfect. However, I do have to look at this game objectively, and for 4 hours long and a price of £16, some players might see this as a little bit too expensive. Also, the replayability is a bit limited once you've found all the collectibles. I would wholly recommend the developer to do a DLC. I won't tell you the ending, but trust me, there is a possibility they could do a DLC for this game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please like or follow, and also don't forget to comment. I do like to hear your input on how I do these reviews. I try to tailor the reviews to be the best I can, and your input is needed. Anyway, until next time, have a great time gaming.